Okay, so this is Commander Trium. I'm having trouble with my VR setup here. And oh God. It looks like I'm gonna have to try this again. Just so you know, there were some setup issues tonight. I guess in brief, I don't have to have VR working for this part. But there were some setup issues with my Windows. Recent security update completely blew up my drive. I just spent the last 4 hours rebuilding it, so that's why there's no gameplay tonight. Thanks for everyone for watching once again, and continue. I'll hopefully have everything working at some point tomorrow. This is Commander Trium logging off at 040212 Zulu, Curtis Port. I just wish I could figure out what system we were in. No, I'm gonna have to log off manually and come back to this. Let's see if that worked. Nope. Getting nowhere mighty fast. I have no video. After all this, I have no video whatsoever coming through my VR. And it was working just 10 seconds ago. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Are we gonna start the game tonight? Holy sweet Jesus in heaven. Wow.
disconnected. Incoming hail.
Hello?
Shit was muted too.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you now. I have just spent the last 4.5 hours reinstalling Windows following one of their marvelous security updates that resulted in the diagnostics applet coming back up on the screen and refusing to boot off my system drive. Fortunately, I had another drive with Windows installed. It became my main system drive, and then I had to reconfigure the entire Oculus assembly for my Oculus Rift headset, and I had to reinstall Elite, because Elite's been upgraded about 4 or 5 times since the last time this drive was used. So I had to spend 2 hours doing that. I'm not in a very good mood, I'm afraid. But if you can hear me okay, that means that everything has worked out. I've got my headset configured. To make matters a little bit more worse, my VR headset's been acting finicky. The cable, it disconnects from the visual. So all the sensors still work. I can move my head around, but I can't see anything when the thing goes offline. And when it goes offline, because I'm now using the older HDD hard drive instead of the SSD hard drive, it takes time. It can't catch up, basically. It just desyncs and stays out of sync. In which case I'm blind.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help matters any. And I can't play with the console anymore because I've been playing in VR so long that I'm only used to playing in VR now with Elite. If I try to play console, it's a waste of time. Anyway, do you have VR or?
No.
No.
I wish.
You wish, yeah.
Got way too many other expensive hobbies.
Really? Like what?
Oh, helicopters, fucking fish, all sorts of stuff.
Helicopter? You fly helicopters? Holy shit.
Not like full size, like RC stuff.
Oh, you mean like, oh, I see, okay. Like drones, basically.
Drones and like large RC helicopters.
Oh, okay. Well, that's certainly expensive, yes. There was, I live in the capital city of Canada, about 2 blocks away from the Viceroy's residence called Rideau Hall, and the Prime Minister of the country actually lives practically next door to me. And so when the fireworks displays go off on every Canada Day, drones are flying around all over the bloody place, and the police are trying to play catch-up but shut them all down because they don't want people flying drones into the midst of explosions for some reason. So I guess they're worried about damage.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, they'll damage one of the drones and the drones will come down on someone's head. So They're they're trying to make it illegal anyway. They'll probably meet with some success. But trying to find people who are controlling the drones is proving to be increasingly difficult. Anyway, so last time I saw someone with a drone controller, I ran over to them and had to have a big lengthy chat about what it was like having one, and apparently they're quite expensive, so that kind of...
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the one that this guy was flying, there's a lot of very wealthy people live in this neighborhood. I myself am not wealthy. I'm actually unemployed right now, technically. When I work, I'm fairly wealthy, but that comes and goes with the gig economy that I work in, which is contract work for the government. So I have I have a dual income situation, and when I go back to one income, I'm like a pauper. I can pay for things more or less. Most of the bills. I have to borrow money from my family and then pay them back after. Oh, it's terrible. They're not going to be alive forever, so... But I saved up 4 months' worth of income last time. I thought that was enough. Nope. Not if you end your last contract in November, it's not enough. Because then it's Christmas, and no one wants to do contracting in Christmas or January. Anyway. Details of my life. So, what are you doing in, where is it? You're in a... I can't remember what region I saw you in. Were you in Vela Dark something or other?
What the fuck? Why do I have 0? Oh my god, I can't even get out of the station.
What? What are you doing? Where are you?
I stripped my chieftain completely to the point where now I can't...
Here, we'll make this easy.
Get the fuck out of the station.
Here, let's just do this, and then I can find out where you are. There. Oh, I've been in that system a whole bunch of times.
Can't land. How am I supposed to get out of here if I can't land?
Well, you shoot someone, I guess, and then everyone comes after you and you can't land still. That isn't really a solution, is it?
Everything's off that takes power, and I'm still overpowered.
Well, you know, the Chieftain was built, I think, just to really in answer to a problem. What do you do between the Asp Explorer and the Python? And there used to be nothing. You just had to, like, tote along in your Asp Explorer until you could afford a Python. And now I have a fleet of 5 ships, including both a Python and a Type 9 Heavy, and an Asp Explorer. So I don't have to worry about that anymore, but I'm thinking about selling some of that stuff off and getting an Anaconda. You have an Anaconda, don't you?
Yeah, but it's completely stock. Great. I can't do anything. I can't even shoot anybody. I can't move.
Well, where's your Anaconda stuck? How the hell does it get stuck?
It's not stuck. It's stock.
Oh.
Like, completely.
Yeah, okay. So you just basically fresh out of the showroom floor where they have like no jump drives, no nothing.
It's got a partially engineered jump drive, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay. So you don't want to fly it around and have it blown up from underneath you.
Well, I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Suicide time. I don't know if it'll disconnect us.
No, it won't. But I'm going to leave the voice comms group so we can join one another or talk to one another through Wing. There. Now you should hear me only through Wing.
Yep.
That's better. That makes it possible for other people to actually page me through voice comms, and then I can switch you off and them on and play switchboard. Oh, you were destroyed.
Well, suicide. Ouch.
I could actually have maybe helped you because I'm not that far away. And I have repair limits.
No, I had 0 power. I couldn't turn anything.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I have a full complement of
I was over.
Okay.
I was over my power plant capacity with everything turned off.
What? How?
For some dumb reason, I stripped out my power plant.
And you couldn't get another one?
I didn't realize it.
Oh.
So I went to go launch, and I had no power.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Hopefully this place has a decent enough power plant. Yeah, that'll get me at least going somewhere.
Yeah, if you buy the wrong power plant, then you're going to have problems. I didn't know that was a way to die. I've never died that way before.
I never got stuck like that either. Okay, we got shields. This is a good sign.
Okay, so I am almost elite in, well, I'm actually 79 points away from being elite in Explorer. I am 104 points away from being elite in Trader. And Christ only knows how much in combat. I'm allied with the Federation, the Empire, and the Alliance. I bet you're wondering how I pulled that off. Or not. I'm allied with everyone, all the superpowers.
I'm friendly with all of them.
Well, I do work for them still, so they're pretty happy with me. And
yeah, I'm still trying to get ranks on Federation Empire.
Well, I'm almost all the way. I'm about a quarter of the way to sub-commander in the Federation, or lieutenant commander. Sorry, this is American ranking system. In Canada, you would be called a sub-commander. But
Makes more sense.
does it? I don't know. It's sort of Star Trek, I thought, because when I heard that they had changed the rank names to sub instead of lieutenant, I thought of Star Trek and the Romulans, who named their commanders. The Romulans and the Vulcans also named their intermediate ranks with the prefix them with sub or vice. So you can be a vice proconsul, you can be a sub-commander, you can be also, in case of an ensign, you're a sub-lieutenant. Which is what we have in Canada exactly. We don't have the ensign rank, we call it a sub-lieutenant. But it's the first officer rank you can get on a naval vessel. What else? Oh yeah, I'm making 2 million credits a run. Can you make money any faster?
Then what?
Than 2 million credits a run with a 500 ton freighter, hauler? I guess I could have... What?
Large ship? Large pad?
I do have a large ship on a large pad, the Type 9 Heavy.
Yeah, about 2.5 million is about as much as I can ever find with a large pad.
Okay, because EDDB.io claims, let's just see here, we'll go back.
For a single jump.
Yeah, I mean, it's single jump stuff, but it's loot. You have to go back and forth and back and forth. Ours a family fun. 4,800 credits per unit profit at Mara Lane and Kernobog. You have to trade slaves for consumer technology, it seems.
Slaves for iPods, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And, and I have some materials that I was I had ordered here. Now, hang on a second. It's been so long, I forgot what I was doing after this stupid Microsoft error. You know, and I'm supposed to be singing Microsoft's praises. They are really a wonderful company to work for, but holy crap. That operating system, it just takes one little thing. They get one little thing wrong in those security updates, everything dies.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to have, like...
They did.
You have to...
A few months ago, they did an update that completely fucked up my work software.
Yeah.
The point where it was completely unusable, and they didn't issue a patch for it for...
Weeks.
No, it was like 3 months.
Holy crap. It
made it lag so hard it would take like 30 seconds to open a menu.
Well, like, the only option I'm left with after all is said and done is I can operate off my bonehead drive here. If I want to use my nice drive again, I have to reinstall all the software on it. I won't lose any data or documents, but I will lose all the work I did installing it, and it takes like a day to install my full software suite as a programmer. I need Visual Studio, I need all
Why don't you just clone it? Clone the one you have.
Ghost, like using Ghost or something?
Yeah.
I could, I've been too lazy, this is the truth, actually. I haven't...
It's just an idea, I didn't know if you thought of that or not.
No, I just think, you know, Ghost is something I do in a 50 workstation environment when I've got, like, you know, I've got 7 developers working as a team with me on a project. I'm going to have a default, you know, image installed for their software suite so I can image their workstations on demand. Someone leaves or someone comes into the team, as often happens with government contractors, because the government likes firing people for some reason, left, right, and center. I don't know why. And it's like, okay. So I tried my hardest, and I got to live there for 8 months. And then she said, okay, it's time for you to go. It didn't feel too bad, because there's... It's ridiculous, I know. Like, what the hell kind of HR policy is this? But they can terminate your contract without notice for any reason just because they don't like the looks of you. Yet everyone's supposed to have a job in this economy. At least I'm writing my own software now, so once it goes on sale, I can say, well, I wrote my own software. And I put it up on Windows Store. Haha. Okay.
Need more power.
Well, for myself, you know what I did? I got out Access from Microsoft Office, Access 365. And I decided that I was going to put all my qualifications, my particulars, like everything about me, into a database. And then I decided, well, it's not that much harder to make it for multiple people. So now it has multiple people that you can track information about. And you can, at the end of the deal, once you've selected all the criterion that you're looking for a government RFP, it will automatically, once you've entered in all the criteria, it will search and build dynamically a resume to suit that particular RFP and give you the best possible chance for getting the win, like winning the contract. So I'm going to try circulating this around a few of the recruiting firms and see if there's any interest there. They're notoriously cheap people that won't invest in technology, even though they broker it all the time. They probably figure, oh, we can just do it ourselves. It's not quite that simple, but anyway. I did this kind of as a precursor to learning about CRM, Microsoft Dynamics.
Who do I have that does fucking power? A little bit.
Who has power?
Engineers.
Well, Elvira Martuk is your chosen person for power systems and FSD. She is like the first one, and probably the one you use the most. And she's also not that far away.
She does power
Hang on, I'm just gonna pull that up right now and see who
That's
has.
what I was doing. I can't remember the name of that website.
Actually, if you go to Sirius isn't that far away from you. Marco Quent.
I haven't unlocked them yet. I need the damn terminals.
Well, he specializes in power plants and power distributors.
That's who I'd be going to if I had it.
Then he gives you Palin, but you have to, yeah, you have to do a bunch of ridiculous missions for him, and they have to all be Thargoid facing. Although, if you open up the Canon Research website and you go have a look and see what Eagle Eye is pointing at for the next likely target for Thargoids, you'll probably find about 1 million scouts that you can shoot the hell out of and get credit for blasting Thargoids out. And you can collect from their debris fields using... What's that? You can collect...
That would be nice.
Well, you can collect Thargoid bits from their debris fields, and that's what Marco Quent needs, I think. He needs... You learned about Marco Quent from Elvira Mark II. You gained access because you're involved with this, invited by the Sirius Corporation. So you have to get into allied standing with Sirius. And then you have to find 25 units of modular terminals, and that was the hard part of that little gig. But somehow I pulled it off. Once you have those 3 things, you will get Marco Quent. He's 152 light years from my position, he's closer to you, and he will give you enhancements on power plants, specifically. And yes, I've been using him a very great deal. Too bad.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to fucking unlock Marco, because the only other power plant person I can go see is Farseer, and it's a grade 1.
Yeah, I can only look at the blueprint I have pinned up for it right now, and it isn't power plants, but I think I'm at level...
Do I even have the fucking permit?
What? For Sirius? No, you don't have Sirius permit. You have to get the Sirius permit by going and getting allied with Sirius Corporation. Then they invite you. Once you...
I am, though.
How many permits...
Is there a way to check what permits do you have?
Yeah, you go to your right panel screen in your interface, and then you go to where it says, hang on, where it says reputation. You go into the reputations and you move through there, and then one of the options is permits. So I have Sol Beta Hydri, Akinar, PLX 695, X-Bayer, Ross 128, Sirius, Aliot, and Vega.
I got it.
And I don't know how I got all these permits. Well, I do, but...
I don't know how I got half of them.
Yeah, half of them I don't know how I got either. Like, PLX 695, X-Bayer, and Ross 128, I have no idea. Sirius, I know what I did. Alios is the Alliance capital planet, so you have to do a special thing there. Vega, I have no idea. Beta Hydri, I don't really either, but I do know that that's the Federation shipyards. And I think you have to get ranked to get that one. I just visited Akinar 2 days ago for the first time, because I got rank in the Empire finally, enough to go visit. That planet number 3 in there, that's a nasty one, eh? 6 Gs. You don't want to be landing heavy... Yeah, you don't want to be landing your Anaconda on that thing, because your docking computer is not going to be sufficient for for stopping the inevitably downward descent of your craft. You basically have to point straight up and fire your main engines in order to stabilize your velocity downward.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a nasty, nasty place. I don't know what the hell it is with the Imperials. All their planets are like... All but 2 of the planets in that system are like above 1G. And it seems like most of the Imperial worlds I visit, they're like always 1.25, 2.0, 2.22. You know, like, Imperials must be short, stocky, whiny people, I figure, in game lore. The gravity crushes their bones down, makes them stocky, shorter than people from the solar system.
Are you combat fitted at all?
I have a ship that is nearby. Why?
I just found a mission for 26 modular terminals, which is one more than I need.
Ooh, where's that?
It's Ruck. One system away from me. Yeah, I can't pronounce starts with an R. It says it's for a single person, but it's a posse, so I'm assuming that there's going to be like a wing of 3. Recommended rank is elite, and it says recommended being part of a wing.
You're at Shente? Yeah,
yes.
You're at Shente right now. Okay.
But in order to do this, I got to try and outfit better, because I'll be overpowered when...
How long is this going to take, likely?
Well, it says it won't start for expected in-system between 5 and 6:30.
Ooh.
So a half an hour from now.
Yeah, thing is, it's late here. I have to kind of do some stuff tomorrow, it being Friday and all.
I'm thinking about just trying it, see if I can fucking do it myself.
I'm sure you'll be able to.
At this point, I would pay my rebuy for fucking terminals.
How much money do you have?
200 some odd million.
Oh, you're gonna be fine. Just get
all the ships. So.
Just get a Python and just lay it out and go deal with it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go try it.
You'll be fine. And even if you're not, you'll get like a couple days worth of time. Even though it says like, yeah, you have to appear between X and Y times, they keep resetting those again and again for the duration of the mission, so... Did they change the galaxy, the way the galaxies look in the map, or is this just me?
I think they did something to it.
Because the large and small Magellanic Clouds, the 2 satellite galaxies you always see in the bottom of the map, they look different. There's something not... Yeah, like... I don't know, they look cloudier or something. I know it's not very helpful, but...
Are your graphic settings different?
Well, yes, they are, because I had to change my... I had to change a bunch of crap. But, I mean, it's got to be some kind of, like not a subtle coincidence that you can almost reach them where they are outside of our galaxy, just right now, with the cursor in the large map. Like, you can almost get there. They're 150,000 light years away, which is too far, but... Some of the, one of the megaships, the Wells-class carrier, which is, it goes 151 light years per jump maximum, I've heard. And don't forget, the Coriolis space station that fool, Jacques, Black Jack Shellac, or whatever his name is, who was running Colonia, way back a couple years ago. He tried to jump it out to Beagle Point, but he only got as far as Colonia. So there must be a way using human technology to jump large starbase size things, like large distances, because that's damn near, that's 15,000 light years away from Sol, like outside the bubble.
Yeah.
So if you can jump 15,000 light years, or, you know, with a Wells-class carrier 151, I can already jump. I finally figured out what I was missing with my Diamondback Explorer, which on its own, with no aids whatsoever, it jumps 50 light years. So I can get it to go 350% farther with a neutron star and a fuel scoop. behind it, which means I can get it to go, in theory, 150 light years just in one jump on its own. Is that right? No, 3 times 3, 900 light years, if that's true. I've never heard of someone jumping that far, but at least 150 anyway.
Pretty far.
What's that?
Pretty far.
Yeah, I've heard stories about people making jumps 200 light years in recent times, and earlier in the game, I heard that it was possible to jump as far as 400 light years easily, until they put some constraints on how far you're allowed to jump with commander-class vessels. Dude, I'd have to swear they've done something to the galaxy. Oh, by the way, I figured out where the Thargoids are coming from. I think.
Oh, yeah.
They are coming from Andromeda, based on trajectory, based on the Formidine Rift conspiracy evidence assembled so far, and on testimony from Rebecca and Salome. It's either in...
Wouldn't they have to have like a carrier ship to get them that far, though?
I think they launched their carrier ships actually ahead of their battle fleet, of their initial battle fleet. There are 2 branches inside the Thargoids. There are 2 factions that are fighting one another right now. They're embroiled in a civil war, and they're fighting through human territory. One of them is pulling a rearguard retreat action, while the others are pursuing them. That's why they haven't attacked Sol or Achenar directly. When they do come, however, I believe that they will use those so-called Thargoid bases that we've seen on planets. They will actually launch out of the ground and turn into Thargoid base ships.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
And when that happens, we're in deep, deep shit. Because we don't have anything that can really oppose them. Except maybe Farragut and Majestic class battle cruisers, capital ships of our own, that will have AX weaponry outfitted on them. But short of that, we're screwed, basically. So we'll still be left as commanders fighting the Interceptors, the Basilisk, the Medusa, and the Cyclops, which are tough enough. I fought a Cyclops recently with 2 other lesser ships as escorts. I had a Python, someone else, they had an Asp Explorer, and I had an Alliance Chieftain as wingmen, and this Cyclops kicked our ass. And I had like a complete outfitting of Class 3 AX weaponry. Did me no good. The Python is simply not tough enough to take one of those on, in my opinion. At least not with me flying it.
We've done it.
What's that?
But we did a few of them when they first happened.
Yeah, if you get enough people together, like 2 wings of humans might be able to take down a Cyclops if they're all Pythons. But
3 of us. But it was like an Anaconda, me and a Python, and I want to say it was a cutter, but it might have been a clipper.
Not a Corvette?
No, not a Corvette.
Because the Corvettes and the Cyclops seem almost evenly matched. But the Python is just not, it hasn't got enough shield points. I have like 1200 armor plus another 700 shield points on my Python. I think I've done pretty good getting it into that state. And this is largely due to engineering upgrades. And it ripped apart my shields in about 2 minutes. Like, I could hang in battle with it at least, yes, but you know, it's still sending out probes, Thargons, and other crap, and you know, and then we got a couple hearts out of it, and then the Asp Explorer was dead, or near enough to death that he had to flee, and we didn't have an Anaconda, so I was the main I was carrying the battle group, and
yeah, you have to have something to tank.
you have to have a tank, right? And a Python just isn't a good tank. It's a great all-round fighter, but you know, it's got the speed, it's got the agility, and it's got the firepower. What it doesn't have are tons and tons of hit points that it can just take a punishment. It isn't built for that. It's built to run away when it's overmatched, and it's still medium class. So anyway, I can buy an Anaconda now if I want to, but like you, it would be sitting and collecting dust in a room somewhere in a hangar, and I just don't see the point. I'm gonna wait until I can spend 100 million at least on getting it upgraded, and then I'll when I have 100 million credits above what I need to actually buy the thing, then I'll go ahead and do it. And I don't really want to sell off any of my ships. Like, I use all of my ships for something, except the Asp Explorer, which is only worth 30 million credits. But if I have to, I'll sacrifice it. I don't know if it'll come to that. It's out facing the Guardians right now anyway. It's the ship I use when there's Guardian missions to be had.
Yeah.
And right now Frontier has said with the next update they'll likely lessen the grind on trying to get the blueprints together for the shard cannons and the other weapons, which will be nice because
Really hope so.
Because I'm not a grind player. I don't like sitting there, as Obsidian Ant said in today's journal entry. I mean, he said, well, there's two kinds of players. Yeah, there are, and I'm not the one that likes to sit there and do tedious things repetitively over and over again. So going to a Guardian base and solving the puzzle 20 times to get enough blueprints to afford one shard cannon on one mounting on my Python, and no.
Yeah.
No. And if I did that, I would expect to at least have a class 4. And no. So, anyway. I'm still not entirely sure what kind of damage the shard cannon does. There's not enough people with reported claims about the shard cannon. The shock cannon, which is the human technology derived completely separately from the Guardian shard cannon. This shock cannon is quite the toy. Apparently, you have to buy it at a human tech broker, and it's different than that bomblet cannon that shoots out all that other crap, and then you release the trigger and it blows up all the bombs. I played with that a little bit, but it's interesting, but it doesn't always hit the target, so I took it off my Python and replaced it with some turret weapon, but yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking up. Hang on, I gotta find a planet by the name of Kernobog. Oh, Karabog. I can't read this. Kernobog. Okay. Go here, hit the cursor, and try to type through the VR gear. The broken VR gear. Kernobog. Located. It's near Akinar. Oh dear God. What spaceport is it? Oh. Kogia Terminal in Maralang. Hang on. Maralang, please. Ah, ya bitch. No. Maralang. Hang on. M-A-R-R-A. Control plus. Where the hell are you? Okay, hold on. M-A-R-R. Controlled by Zemina, Empress Zemina Torval. Or Emperor. No, they're all men now, I guess. Kogia Terminal. Kogia Terminal is there. Edit. And I want you to trade Imperial slaves to Kernobog.
At level 5, here we go.
If it's a Thargoid, you'll be in deep trouble.
Oh, fuck me.
What? Thargoid?
No. The guy I'm supposed to kill is a wing of like 20 people with him.
Oh dear.
They're all anacondas and shit areas.
Are they all really on his side? So they could also be police ships in there from the Federation or from the faction.
Oh, I'm getting melted.
Oh no. Run! Run away!
Yeah, 6 contacts.
Run away! I wonder how, like, why do they give you impossible
Oh, if
missions?
it was just me and him, I'd be murdering him right now.
Yeah. But how are you even supposed to deal with 20 ships being, like, nested together like that? I'm sure it's not quite 20, but quite a few anyway. You need a Corvette on your side.
I'm out. If I can get out. They started shooting me first. What the fuck?
Probably knew that you were after them. Wow, this Imperial world is 2.1 billion people on it. Or sorry, the system is 2.1 billion people living in it. And it has lore history dedicated to protecting colonized space from pirates and other threats. The BWSF operates from Kogia Terminal in the Maralang system. The BWSF is split up into 4 fleets: the Royal Fleet, the War Fleet, the Merchant Navy, and the Recon Corps, and they are always recruiting. Well, I'm afraid that's it, guy. I'm gonna have to bow out for tonight.
Alright, man.
Thank you for helping me test my hardware and get my system back to playable state. At least now I can play on 2 drives, in theory.
Yeah, true.
You really do need 2 copies of Windows, though. Like, when this happens, like, you're completely fucked out of one drive. You at least have the other to fall back on, but I don't know. It's a little flaky the way that it switches system drive on you like this. Like, it just goes, you have to go into the diagnostic tool and say, oh, I'd like to boot off drive X over here, and the other drive just disappears. Screwed up. Okay, thanks again. We'll talk. Catch you again some other time.
Yeah, have a good day, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.